Hey everyone! Last time I left it at Elixir Seeker's Abundance in Databank Factions. Now I'm gonna continue from there forward with Antimatter Legion Destruction. Nanook, the Aeon of Destruction, commands a vast legion that brings chaos and destruction to the world. Loyal followers of Nanook have embarked on the path of destruction, placing themselves at the absolute opposite of life and civilization. They are known as the Antimatter Legion that spreads terror throughout the universe. The fiercest races of the universe act as vanguards for the Legion. There are also evil strategists who plot out the destruction of worlds and act as the brains of the Legion. Innocent new worlds are ruthlessly destroyed, while proud and mature civilizations are forced to learn humility while on the brink of collapse. The will of destruction will only slow down when faced with a dying world. The Legion saunters over planets on the verge of being shattered, devouring the chaotic energy emitted by the process of decay. Only when the last flame of civilization has been extinguished will they leave contentedly to search for their next target. Worlds swept by the tide of the Legion ask helplessly in their dying moments, why? Amidst the cries of despair, the countless evils in the Legion sneer so heinously that even the stars shudder. It is said that as demons and evils roam, sometimes the shadow of Nanook would emerge from the starry sky to witness the tragic end of another world. Annihilation Gang, Destruction. Not all fanatic devotees of the path of destruction are welcomed into the Antimatter Legion. There are many murderous species throughout the cosmos obsessed with pillaging and annihilation, but they lack the ability to systematically pursue the will of destruction. The scumbags of the Annihilation Gang fantasize about one day serving as pioneers of destruction, but they have no idea that their cruelty only incurs Nanook's utter contempt for them. The reason is that the Annihilation Gang's goal behind their thirst for destruction is not pure enough. Chaotic desires are also mixed therein, with some taking pleasure in bloody slaughter, some plundering as an excuse for filthy vengeance, and some relying on endless destruction to calm their internal madness. They claim to be loyal followers of destruction but never escape the enslavement of their own selfish desires. These marauders roam the stars, dragging everything they touch into a vortex of havoc. They will not abandon their feeble personal ideals and so must endure the tortures of eternal spiritual exile. The family, Harmony. I literally just finished the storyline for Penacony, and if I remember correctly, the family is one of the big people who actually run Penacony. In the vision of the Harmony, the diverse civilizations throughout the universe will eventually become as close as siblings, singing in unison the hymn of unity and joy. The universe will become an harmonious whole, with no discordant notes to disrupt the beautiful chords and no fools worrying about their own short-sighted futures. Thus, under the loving radiance of the Aeon Shippe, their chosen people formed a harmonious family. They come from different worlds, belong to different civilizations, and have different identities, but they are at the same time the closest family members there are. There is never noisy disputes or even contradictions amongst its members, only eternal love and smiles. There is no more harmonious family in the universe than them. The family calls out to other worlds with their song, encouraging them to embrace harmony. Whenever new worlds accept the blessing of Shippe, the family would celebrate with rejoice, and work even harder at praising the Aeon's kindness. But not every blessed world can become a member of the family. Few would mention the civilizations that perished out of stupidity or hubris. People are also curious whether any members of the family have grown tired of the one and voluntarily abandoned the path of harmony. In the face of such a question, the family smiles and replies, never. Genius Society, Erudition. Nos stays in the corner of the cosmos, working at the equations of the universe made up of trillions of variables and deriving the unknown laws of imaginary numbers. Once in a while, a spark of intelligence flashes in a mortal world. The Aeon of Erudition sends a signal to its source, inviting geniuses to join in the search for answers to the universe. Many people interpret the signal, thinking the invitation to the Genius Society merely represents the favor and approval of the Aeon. Then they proudly continue to devote themselves to their studies, unaware that the solution to the problems that they have spent their whole lives researching for had already been solved by Nos thousands of years ago. There are also those who rejoice, thinking they have already reached greatness and had created priceless assets of civilization with their diligence and wisdom. They were sure that their life's achievements deserved Noah's approval. These geniuses were eager for a response from Noah's, but the erudition has no time to appreciate the insignificant achievements of mere mortals. Their silence was deafening. Only very few can ascertain Noah's intentions. They humbly ask questions and seek guidance from the erudition. These enlightened few then disappear from the world, only leaving behind their world-shattering answers. The answer to the universe is beyond the limits of mortal wisdom. Only geniuses who can clearly acknowledge this conclusion can break free from the shackles of worldly curiosity, becoming true members of the Genius Society. Intelligentsia Guild Erudition. Only the cream of the crop can become members of the Genius Society, but the Intelligentsia Guild wastes not. The guild is willing to accept all beings from the infinite universe who seek to learn, as well as providing all that is needed for the full pursuit of knowledge. The Intelligentsia Guild advocates that all knowledge must be circulated like currency. Therefore, although there are different schools that specialize in different subjects within the guild, everyone is actively engaged with one another with no isolationism. Members trade knowledge for wisdom and formulas for recipes, seeking to achieve mastery. Each school, like a business, pays for itself, and academic circulation has achieved the maximum efficiency proposed in economic models. As an elder in the Genius Society, thought the Intelligentsia Guild as laughingstock. However, as an open academic organization, the Intelligentsia Guild was above such mockery. After a long period of research and exploration, its members had reached a consensus that the only way to transcend the limitations of the individual is to have an academic network of mutual learning. Atavi Search Forest Erudition. If intelligent creatures are advancing on the right path, why do cosmic civilizations come to a standstill? A group of scholars posed this question to the unchanging stars. In response to this question, the society's geniuses turn a deaf ear, and the ordinary and the guild are clueless, apart from Dr. Primitive. The one who gives them enlightenment, no one can grace them with an answer. These fervent scholars very quickly find themselves on the opposing side of civilization, voluntarily becoming the staunchest advocates for atavistic experiments. They insist that erudition had long strayed from the straight and narrow, and that regression is the only salvation. Only after severing the withered branches of ignorance can new saplings of knowledge rise from the ruins. They are convinced that any means are necessary in the pursuit of knowledge, recklessly disregarding the fact that these brutal methods have already overstepped the boundaries of science, wholeheartedly throwing themselves into heresies. In the long course of their experimentation, the line between the researcher and the researched also gradually blurs. There is a tale being told in the universe. Dr. Primitive is an eccentric, never seeking to consort with humanity. But the disturbances wrought in the world by these followers of his were no less significant than their idol. It wasn't until the rangers shot through the lab's metal door, only to be engulfed by a sea of bananas pouring out, that people finally realized that the organization known as the Source Research Institute had ceased to exist, replaced by a horrific forest that is regressing into the primeval. The Architects. Preservation. Legend has it, the Aeon of Preservation, Shlipoth, is the oldest Aeon, silent and mighty. Shlipoth built a light-years-long barrier around the cosmos, never engaging in any trivial conflicts or badgering with the other Aeons. Civilizations across the cosmos speculate on the motive of Shlipoth. Once said the ancient Aeon foresaw a disaster that could obliterate the cosmos, so Shlipoth built a barrier to protect the worlds. Once said he was simply a slave for other Aeons and was ordered to build walls for them. There was no way to verify the truth, but his tireless actions moved the mortals. They spontaneously gathered in groups to build a barrier to protect their planet. Some architects even claimed to feel the protective gaze of the Aeon upon them. They liken it to a gaze of approval, tinged with the warmth of the forge and the smell of lime. The annihilation of a single star can devastate planets thousands of light years away, pushing them to the precipice of extinction. On the rare occasion of such calamities, worlds are saved only by the walls their denizens have built. People who survived their demise no longer mock the stubbornness of the architects. Instead, they joined them, never to question their motives or the meaning of preservation ever again. Interastral Peace Corporation. Preservation. To outsiders, the IPC is an enormous consortium advocating free trade. From a business perspective, the IPC is a business that issues money and monopolizes resources. From a startup perspective, the IPC is a selfless support group dedicated to the aeon of preservation. When many Astral citizens talk about the IPC, they talk about its ubiquitous merchandise and logo. It's as if the IPC exists whenever there is a transaction. In fact, almost all business transactions in the cosmos are based on the credit system created by the IPC. If one were to compare interastral trade to a sports competition, the IPC would be the top athletes as well as the sports, the venue, and the rules themselves. Its absolute dominance over wealth and relentless expansion has given the IPC the image of a conspiratorial business dictatorship. But the IPC pays little attention to lowly ambitions such as dictatorship, because its spirit hasn't wavered since its creation. Give everything to the Amber Lord Klipov. Today, the Interastral Peace Corporation is divided into 7 major departments. Perhaps the word department can no longer encompass the astounding scale of this pan-galactic enterprise. In actuality, every IPC department would often control dozens or even hundreds of civilized worlds of various scales and have billions of workers employed in a hereditary manner, let alone the countless masses that are affected by the impact of its commercial activities. These 7 major departments are the Marketing Development Department. The Marketing Development Department is engrossed in reaching more star systems to preach the calling of Klipov. At its same time, I think this is supposed to be at the same time, it is also responsible for pulling newly emerging worlds into the universal commercial sphere. It is said that its chairman, Osvaldo Schneider, is a former Nameless who still holds strongly to the will of Trailblaze after joining the IPC. People believe he will soon become a member of the board of trustees. All he's missing is some experience and an empty spot. The Business Consolidation Department. When the Marketing Development Department finishes establishing relationships with a new world, the subsequent commercial dealings will be handed over to the Business Consolidation Department. This department is responsible for managing the IPC's hyper-distant delivery system. They stock specialty goods. This sentence does not make proper sense. They stock specialty goods, set prices, and continuously maintain the IPC's subsidiary facilities and goods inventory. The Business Consolidation Department is the IPC's biggest department. Its staff numbers amount to 45% of the headquarters' total personnel. So in that piece, the sentence I just struggled with literally says they take specialty goods. So I think they stock specialty goods or they take specialty goods or something like that should be the sentence. It has a word too many. The Strategic Investment Department. The Strategic Investment Department has the second best foresight in the IPC. Their investment will never be limited to short-term returns. The Strategic Investment Department has an elite team of non-performing asset liquidation specialists, the 10 Stonehearts, led by the mysterious director, Diamond. These individuals traverse the universe, actively liquidating the bad debts caused by the cancer of all worlds. The Building Material Logistics Department. The Building Material Logistics Department is the oldest in the IPC. Its former name was the Amber Lords Support Team and was restructured after Lewis rose to prominence. The current director of the department is the rotund fellow Taravan Keen, one of the rare verified emanators of preservation in the IPC and one of the 7 members of the board of trustees. He shoulders the holy duty of shipping building materials to Klipov, and his grip on power only solidifies over time. The Technology Department. The Technology Department conducts thorough collaborations with the Intelligentsia Guild and turns the Guild's scientific results into commercial projects. Preferring the management practice by peer experts, the IPC acknowledges Director Yaboli's scientific aptitude and commercial instincts. The associations between this young lady and the Council of Mendonites in the Intelligentsia Guild are often also inspired waves of speculation. I think the sentence is also not entirely correct. I think they mean the associations between this young lady and the Council of Mendonites in the Intelligentsia Guild often inspire waves of speculation, and that would make more sense, I think. The Talent Motivation Department. The Talent Motivation Department is responsible for recruiting, training, and transporting talented employees for the IPC. This department is also the medium through which many intergalactic projects communicate and collaborate with their respective stakeholders. Moreover, the two directors of the Talent Motivation Department, Metoyen Rai Zazat and Jan Shilo, collectively control an information network that covers the entire cosmos. Their emissaries shuttle across the cosmos, befriending the major powers and forming alliances and relationships with talents who are not yet willing to join the IPC. These external aids will demonstrate significant value in situations where the IPC is unable or unwilling to show its face. The Traditional Project Department. The passage of time saw the rise and fall of many industries, with their influence and positions in the IPC's trade system also ebbing and flowing. When one industry's trade falls below a certain percentage threshold in pan-galactic commerce, it will be removed from the duties of the Business Consolidation Department and handed over to the Director Arita of the Traditional Project Department. With its mediocre performance, the Traditional Project Department is hardly appreciated in the IPC. However, there is also the view that the true elites are concentrated in this department, where they silently conduct business that have even withstood the test of time. Oh, we're already at like 16 minutes, almost 17. I'm gonna finish preservation and then I will make another video on the leftovers. Because this one's also a long text, with the 10 Stonehearts preservation. Among the myriad IPC departments, the Strategic Investment Department is responsible for being visionaries. Their investments are never obsessed with short-term returns. They often operate investment rounds stretching across dozens or even hundreds of amber eras per round, and their goal is nothing less than total control of an entire star system. Though many investments made by the department were turned into bad debts due to the continuous setbacks caused by Nanook and Stellarons, the Strategic Investment Department have attained multiple stunning achievements ever since the current Director Diamond took over. Eradicating the swarm infestation in the Galanti sector and completing commercialization of the new ecosphere. Conducting capital injection to the Kolkonda Mining World Consortium following the Stellaron incident, securing fresh sources of minerals for IPC's construction materials logistics trade. Reclaiming the lost world Jarilio 6 and investing in its revitalization project. Cooperating with the Garden of Recollection to salvage the Memoria in Dead Worlds. Behind all these events, the team named the 10 Stonehearts played a prominent role. Officially known as non-performing asset liquidation specialists in the IPC, they are an elite team under Diamond's direct management. Its ever-changing list of members comes from a diverse range of backgrounds and holds a wide variety of responsibilities. The only thing that they have in common is how they were all personally promoted to the role by Diamond and were granted a credential of their identity known as the Cornerstone. Some credible sources suggest the 10 Stonehearts have demonstrated on certain occasions unbelievable might that could be related to the preservation. Whether this power originates from the members themselves or the cornerstones they present remains uncertain. However, since Diamond is one of the few confirmed emanators of preservation within the IPC, this power is likely related to that fact. The troubled past between the Strategic Investment Department and the Marketing Development Department has long ceased to be a secret within the IPC. Some claim that the 10 Stonehearts are actually Diamond's private soldiers, while others believe they are purely followers of preservation, even going so far as to say they have carved out their own hearts and replaced it with Schlippos stone. The true allegiance of the 10 Stonehearts remains a mystery for now. I'm going to leave it here. I will read the swarm all the way to the end. I'm sorry for cutting it here. I did say it might be a bit long. Did not expect the IPC's thing to be so long with the different departments that they have and an explanation on it. I honestly find it very interesting because the 10 Stonehearts play a significant role in what happens at Penacony. For people that don't have played that area yet, I'm not going to say too much, but once you see it, you see it. I'll just leave it at that. So I I hope you guys have a nice evening, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. If you want to, please leave a like or comment, anything would help. And I hope you guys enjoy my other and future videos. Have a nice day.